Tuesday. There's a mouse in the house at TexAgs. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the B Team. It's a Top 5 Tuesday, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Some very interesting happenings in Gainesville and even weirder happenings in Los Angeles. And no, I'm not talking about a normal night on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Pasadena.
And welcome in Richard Zane. We have got a lot on the docket today. Cade Bickham is producing our show. I think top of mind sports show. Yes. Top of mind in the building that we sit in currently, not sports. Over the weekend.
Timeout. Top of mind. He's sports. He is sports.
Well, the name that has been bestowed upon him by Olin Buchanan, I believe.
I gave him the name.
Oh, I thought it was Olin.
It's actually some of my best work. I've worked at TexAgs for 6 years. I've done some okay things. This is my best work.
This guy asked one question in a press conference, and
again, okay, that was all right. Not that big of a deal. This is my best work.
Wasn't so selfish.
Well, I'm extremely selfish.
Anyway, so if you have not seen on social media, we got a mouse in the house, and they spotted it upstairs in the conference room, correct?
The first time I spotted it was downstairs in the lobby.
That's correct.
And they spotted it earlier this week upstairs in David's office.
So do we think this, first of all, the name that Richard has given this rodent is Le'Veon Mouse. Very good.
He's quick and shifty, gets through some tight windows, and runs away from people.
Windows is a better word than you were going to use, given that turn of phrase you used ahead of it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, because the two occurrences of Le'Veon Mouse in this office, as you said, one downstairs, one upstairs. Now, we have to say, there have been days, probably since the season started, in which we come into the office, and when you walk into the studio, especially, like the first 5-10 feet of walking into the studio, you smell something a little off. So there is a chance that Le'Veon Mouse has mice friends. Maybe he's got his own version of the maroon goons that are running around the office, maybe inside the walls. But full disclosure, there's been a little bit of a funk in here, correct?
Yes.
And it's random.
So you will complain about it. Your sense of smell is way better than mine. Billy's sense of smell is way better than mine.
Richard's got long COVID.
Apparently, I do. My sense of smell never came back after I got the vid back in 2020 or 2021. I can smell it every now and then, but when you guys walk through that door and you're like, oh, smells rancid in here, I'm like, I legitimately cannot smell anything.
It's a smell that it's kind of like an acquired taste, I guess, because the first day that everybody was smelling it when they came into the office, into the lobby in the foyer area, I didn't smell it. But remember McGee's reaction to it? He said it smelled like rotting produce. And I don't think it smells like that now, but there are certain days when we walk in here, you can definitely smell it. I just wonder where there's clearly some sort of animal, I think, making the smell.
Yeah, like something's dead in the walls, right?
Something like that. But it could be a bunch of mice or one mouse but we know it's not Le'Veon Mouse. The question is, and I will pose this to you and both Cade, do we think that this mouse is the same one spotted downstairs and then upstairs?
I do not. I think it's multiple mouse. I think we've got
multiple mouse.
It's multiple mice. I think we've got Le'Veon Mouse downstairs, and we've got Mousel Reed upstairs.
Did you just come up with that?
No, Olin came up with that.
Mousel Reed?
Mousel Reed.
And Le'Veon Mouse. What do we think, Cade? Same mice or same mouse or two different mice?
The likelihood is that it's probably two different ones, but it would be better if it was just one. It'd be better if it was just one.
I don't think we just have one mouse in this entire building.
No, where there's a mouse, there are mice.
And listen, though, if it's named after Le'Veon, I don't put it past that mouse ran up the stairs.
It's true.
But the funny thing is Macho Man David Nuno has heard about, I don't even think he saw it. I think he's heard that mouse was in his office. His wife
and his daughter saw the mouse on Saturday during the tailgate, and they were not faced. They were not scared. Mrs. Nuno actually wanted to was trying to get it to come hang out. Like she was like, "Oh, come here, mouse, come here, mouse." He did not.
That's
you like that voice?
Yes.
Or that? That's not how Mrs. Nuno talks.
I think that David, though, for all his bravado and what would you call it, machismo, he's a machismo because he would not. He closed the door to his office and now won't go in there.
I opened the door to the office earlier today just to see if I could spot Mousel. Saw nothing. If there's a third, what's his name?
We could come up with
Mario Cheese Craver.
Whoa,
that one was just off the dome.
Our Mouse Reed Adams.
Our Mouse, that's a good one. That is a good one. I like that.
We could go all day. I mean, maybe we have the whole football team of mice in the office. We will keep you guys updated because I know you're waiting with bated breath on every time we find a small rodent. But I do tend to believe there are multiple mice in here. My dog Dolly would be a great mouse extinguisher. Although now that we're starting to name them, I think that we've given them personalities, and I don't know how we're going. Do we want to get rid of them? I mean, what if they're good luck charms?
Well, so here's the deal. Full disclosure, right? There are mouse traps set up upstairs.
Okay.
You know what's going to happen with a mouse trap when a mouse springs the mouse trap? It's going to be R.I.P. mouse. But so we've tasked Jacob with kind of, because he's the office guy, keeps us everything nice and straight. He has been tasked with putting out the traps. And every time he tells somebody that he's put out the traps, everybody, myself included, the reaction's always, "Oh, why?" But it makes sense. It is the right move in the office. You can't have a mouse problem in the workplace.
Sure. Or we could just call Dolly, and then that's fun for me, and it's fun for you.
Jeez.
And it's not fun for Dolly's mom. She's got a little bit of
Dolly Ann's a crackhead.
She she likes to bring the dogs to the brink of death. I mean, bring the mice to the brink of death.
What do you mean brink? I think she pushes them over the edge.
She doesn't.
Fully all in.
I found 3 or 4 mice in our backyard. So where we live in South College Station, just like everywhere else in South College Station, not too long ago, it was a field. And now it's a subdivision neighborhood. And so we still have a lot of field mice that run around our backyard. Dolly has made a habit of getting them, tossing them in the air, tossing them against the fence. Every time I go out there and find one of them, they are barely clinging on to life. I had told my wife, do not come in the backyard. Don't even come look at it.
Be near here.
Yeah. And
so she just she just tortures them.
It's disgusting.
What?
I tell you.
It would be more humane if she just ripped their heads off and that was
for sure.
It.
Yes.
Yeah, Dolly.
I will say
she's a psychopath.
I've seen 2 of the 3.
Takes off her father.
No, 2 of the 3 that I've found, I've had to put out of their misery. The third was dead on arrival. But yeah, and she's gotten same kind of principle here because the mice were still running around. We still have a lot of rabbits, like bunny rabbits, that come out of the woods near my house.
Has she ever caught a rabbit?
We're getting there. So we go on our morning walks, and if we are out there walking before the sun comes up fully, there's tons of rabbits. I think the most we've seen is 20-something rabbits on our walk.
That's wild. That's a lot of rabbits.
It is. And most of the time they're in the same areas. We walk the same trail every day, and they're in the same areas. Every day she runs like she's going to catch one of them, and she doesn't get close because she's got her lead on. And I have her, and I see the rabbits, and so I don't let her go too far. But Friday morning, we are in a spot where we usually don't see any rabbits. And I'm walking Dolly, and I'm looking at my phone because I always listen to podcasts on YouTube while I'm walking the dog. And I'm looking at my phone to skip an ad, right? So I'm looking down. We're at a spot, like I said, where we don't see any rabbits, and she just takes off. And I've barely got the lead in my hand. So she got a running start, and she caught me off guard. Richard, I'm telling you, her mouth was open, and the tail went right through her mouth. That's how close she got to catching this rabbit.
That's
before
crazy.
I realized, and I grabbed her and snatched her back. But she was, and my deal is what would I have done? What would she have done if she'd have got a hold of it?
So Back in Flower Mound, my parents have a golden retriever. His name is Scully. He's 9 years old, right? We got him in 2015. He'll be 10 this November, and he's starting to show his age. He's got the white mask. He's still a sweetheart. He still has a lot of fun. He still plays. He once caught a squirrel by the tail and had no idea what to do with it. Like the squirrel was in his, like he had never thought it out. Like he had never thought beyond, I'm just going to chase it and try and catch it. He eventually caught it by the tip of its tail. And then when he had it in its mouth, he just stopped because he was so stunned that he had it and the squirrel was just shaking and Scully just stopped. Had no idea what to do.
Let it go.
Yeah. My mom eventually pried Scully's jaws open so the squirrel could go.
That's great.
Speaking of Scully,
probably a day that he talks about to all of his buddies.
Yeah, probably. He's very good at talking to the entire neighborhood. Something Scully did this week that's been hilariously cute is on Sunday, my mom took him around the block on a walk, and he found a golf ball. And he's a 10-year-old golden retriever, so he carried the golf ball with him like an egg the rest of the way. He'd drop it every now and then. He carried it around, my mom said, for the rest of the afternoon. He'd drop it every few feet or so. He took a nap with the golf ball on Sunday afternoon, stretched out on the tile bathroom floor, right? Just napping with the golf ball, just a golden golf ball. And then that night, he made sure to grab the golf ball before he went upstairs to go to bed and get in bed with my mom and dad.
My papaw, God rest his soul, used to fall asleep with a dip in. Kind of the same thing.
Not really. Not really at all.
Copenhagen wintergreen, Cade. Fall asleep with it in his mouth.
Diabolical.
The juice is just dripping down his mouth as he's sleeping.
All right, I've got more mouse name.
No, the chat has been on.
Yeah, these guys are really good.
Chat's been on their
I'm going to give Bruce an over. Marcus Ratcliffe, Theo Malmstrom. That's not a.
Theo Malmstrom Olstrom.
That one's not great.
I like
Demeistrius Crownover's good. We're missing an obvious one. Why not just Mice Anderson? Seems pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. These are pretty good. I'm going to continue trying to figure this out as we go. The
more we find, the more names we're going to need.
It's true. Cheesiest Hal.
Terry Mousy.
We're pushing it there.
Yeah.
It's close.
Just a little bit,
close.
Yeah.
It's close. We got a lot to get to. As I said, I was locked in last night on. Oh, by the way, my wife she likes to keep a garden. She has hummingbird feeders. Basically, any obstacle that she can put in our backyard for me to have to mow and weed eat around, she loves it. But with that becomes lots of birds in our backyard, and these birds are terrorizing Dolly. Mm-hmm. And so Dolly we keep our kitchen window.
Albert Cheeses. Not great. I'll try again.
We keep our window in our kitchen to our backyard just cracked enough so Dolly can rest her head on the ledge and look outside. Well, she will see these birds in the yard, and she feels like they are disrespecting her property in her area. And we do charge our dog. That's the one job that we've given her is you are security detail. So she sees these birds in the backyard and she feels like she's being disrespected. So she wants to run to the back door and want to be let out. The problem with Dolly is that the number one element of a sneak attack is you can't yell sneak attack before you go out there. It kind of ruins your element of surprise. She has a habit of yelling sneak attack before we open the door. But the other day, these birds, they were posted on both sides of the fence, each side of the yard, and they were purposely flying just above her head, high enough where she couldn't jump up and grab them.
That's just so mean.
Teasing her. And I'm like, my dog, these two random neighborhood, Walmart blackbirds are terrorizing my dog from a mental standpoint.
To no end.
Yeah, and they're smarter than my dog.
Well.
Anyway, I felt bad for old Dolly. We got to work on that. You can't yell sneak attack and then try to do a sneak attack.
Mice Elko. Sorry, I messed that up. Mice Elko.
Is this what we're going to do?
I'm going to keep coming up with them.
Are you going through the roster?
I'm looking at it.
All right. While Richard's doing that, let's talk some. Hey, Cade, can you look? I guess I could have. Have the Tigers and the Mariners started today? They were in a rain delay.
I'm watching hockey.
It's still delayed.
Wow,
that's a bummer.
Bad weather in Detroit, but that series has been. If you are an aficionado or a lover of pitching, that series has been incredible.
And what's been huge for Seattle, right? The series is tied 1-1 as they try to play Game 3 tonight in the Motor City. It's huge for the Mariners as they somehow found a way to win the Scooble start.
2 home runs by a guy that doesn't hit homers.
Can you imagine that if you lose Game 1 in crazy fashion, and then you have to face Tarek Skubal the next day? Like, could you imagine just how much pressure was in that Seattle clubhouse going into Sunday night? That's crazy. And they somehow find a way, because going 1-1 back to Detroit, it's not exactly where you want to be. You've already given up home field advantage by losing Game 1 in a very quick 5-game best-of-5 series. But if you're down 2-0, going back to the other team's home ballpark, that's dangerous.
Yeah, and
real dangerous. And they beat the best pitcher in the world to do it.
And I would imagine if it gets to 5, Skubal's coming back.
For sure.
Yeah. And if the Tigers have a chance to close it out in 4, if they've got a lead in the 7th,
it wouldn't see Skubal out of the pen.
Yeah. And just to lock the series up, I think these two teams are dead even. Like, there's not much that separates them when you look 1 through 9 offensively for each club. Interesting matchup tonight on the pitcher's mound. Former Dodger legend, I think. Dodger legend, Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, Dodger legend. That's true. He pitched for us for 2.5 months. Jenna refers to him as her boyfriend. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but he is a handsome man.
And then he
pitched Game 5, actually, the World Series. He was terrible in that game. But thankfully, Aaron Judge doesn't know how to catch fly balls, and Anthony Volpe is a terrible defender at shortstop.
Anthony Volpe also not covered himself in glory at the plate either this year. And then Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners. You know this. I've said this since probably March. I thought the Mariners were the best team in the AL West. Yeah. Even back when the Astros had their little run after the All-Star break, I still thought the Mariners were the best team.
I think they've got the best pitching staff in baseball, top to bottom. Right now, right? Of the teams left, it's best in baseball, top to bottom. Has to be.
They're missing Brian Wu.
I know.
And it's still, you can make an argument that they're the best staff left.
I could make the argument that the Dodgers have the best starting pitching, but just the entire staff, because the bullpen, I still believe, is going to be the Dodger downfall. That pitching staff in Seattle is fantastic. And you could make the argument that Seattle should be up 2-0 right now, but they refuse to use former Texas A&M pitcher, Bryce. Okay, go ahead.
We got a winner.
What's the winner?
Ashton Bethel Rodent. That's great.
Ashton Bethel Rodent. That's fantastic.
Nice job. Give credit where credit is due. McKinnon Crookshank.
Crookshank.
Very nice,
Nathan McKinnon fan? The Avalanche play later tonight, right, Cade Bickham?
Rodent Owens.
They do indeed.
Rodent Owens is a good one. Good job, you guys.
Chase Mysonis.
Keep this going on. Let's have some fun. Anyways, I was saying, if Seattle uses Bryce Miller in the late innings on Saturday night, there's a better than good chance that they are up 2-0 right now ahead of Game 3. But they didn't use the guy who has the best stuff available in a leverage spot, and it ended up biting them in extras.
I worry about either one of these teams being able to win the entire thing, just with the consistency or lack thereof of their offenses.
I think Seattle could do it. I don't think Detroit's that good offensively.
Man, who lights you on fire for the Mariners outside of Cal Riley? Julio Rodriguez has been way better this year.
Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena in the postseason's fantastic. Like, he still scares me. I mean, 2020 scared the hell out of me. Still scares me. Just 'cause he gets on a heater, he turns into like the best hitter in all of baseball.
Yeah,
they've got way more power. They've got way more power at the top of their lineup than a lot of other teams still alive. And the postseason, for some reason, I know you've got to be able to win games in different fashions, but a lot of times it often comes down to who homers the most in a series ends up winning. And they've got the capability to do it. They've got the juice to do it.
And Cal Raleigh really hadn't got off yet.
Especially if who's that Polanco, the dude that took Skubal twice? Yeah, if that guy's going to hit home runs, then okay. They can win it all.
It's just top to bottom. I think the Mariners can win it because I think they can ride their pitching staff to a World Series championship.
Think about that Royals team in 2015. That offense was okay, very top heavy,
right? And they were just
and
loaded.
That pitching staff was loaded and carried them all the way to a World Championship.
Yeah, that was the Finnegan kid came from the College World Series team and then pitched in the actual World Series in the same year. You mentioned teams that can homer the most, win in the postseason. What about a team that can execute a wheel play when they haven't even practiced it, even in spring training, and they need it to win a game in Philadelphia, and the Los Angeles Dodgers run a play that is practiced often and utilized hardly ever?
God bless Mookie Betts. God bless Max Muncy. God bless Freddie Freeman. God bless everybody in blue not named Dave Roberts. Amazing.
What about that left-handed reliever you hate?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him.
TS?
Yeah, Tanner Scott. Blake Trinan's going to land on the list too.
Why was he throwing so many fastballs?
Why was he in the game? Why was he in the game? Anyway, let's talk. I've got Dodger thoughts, but let's talk about the wheel play first.
Okay, so for those of you, this is going to be like Brauny's baseball breakdown without the video going behind me. But Cade does have the video. I don't know, Cade, does this have a replay on it?
No, but I've looped it for you.
Okay. All right, so let's set the situation here. Phillies have a man on second, down by a run in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 4-3. They've already singled 2 home. Some really
single double with Nick Castellanos.
That's right. Castellanos beat the throw to second.
Loop double.
Probably not the smartest decision to run to second there. He just beat the throw. It was a blind tag by Tommy Edman. He did some things mechanically incorrect. There were so many.
He was incredibly hosed if he was looking
a lot of
at
teaching
the tag.
moments. So he's out by a mile if Tommy Edman makes a better tag.
Exactly.
So what you have to do now with tagging, the slides have gotten so good.
Go at him, or what?
Everybody can slide and they swim. They'll lift their hand up and down. They've gotten so good at evading tags. What we teach is that you have to get on the ground with them. If you are standing and it's a 2-legged tag, that throw has to be perfect, right on the bag to put you in the tag area. Most of the time, you don't have that luxury. So we just tell our kids, get on the ground with them. I don't care if it's your hand. I don't care if it's your knee. I don't care if you sit down there with them. But you have got to mechanically put a body part on the ground. Then we tell them, try to get your chest close to their chest.
Yeah.
And if you do that, your hand will obviously follow and you'll touch what you see. Your percentages go up if you will get on the ground with the slide. Okay. So Tommy Edman, because of where the throw was coming from, it was coming from left field. It's a blind tag. It's really difficult. But if you go watch the slide, he goes and reaches. And then once he whiffs, then he falls down to a knee. But if he would have caught it like in rhythm, it wasn't a bad throw. He could see the ball flight, get in rhythm and start working toward the ground and back toward the bag as you're catching it. He would have given himself a better chance. But it's a really tough tag. Those were there were so many fine details in that ninth inning last night it's good teach tape for young baseball players and baseball coaches that are just getting into it. Okay. So anyway, Castellanos is safe at second. I'm sure at this point you're sweating.
Off the couch, cursing. I'll talk about it later, but I have no idea why Trinan was in the game. I understand 3 straight righties, but of course it's the same thing I'd seen play out all year.
Who did you want in that spot? Sasaki?
Roki, yeah, for sure. It's obvious. It's
so
so
he
obvious.
should have started the inning.
It's either Sasaki or you let Sheehan go.
Sheehan looked good.
He got you. He's a converted starter. He's already got you through 2 innings, so he's built up to go more. And he's a right-hander, so you get 3 righties to begin the inning.
You usually don't see guys that are built like him. He's a big dude, and it still looks like as much ride and carries as fastball has, that it's elevating. You saw Schwarber swing through a pitch in the middle of the plate, and he was underneath it by a good bit. Because that ride run profile, you just don't see it out of guys like that. So even though the radar gun, doesn't look like Jacob Mizorowski where it's 103, 104, the ball is playing. The life on the fastball is exceptional, and I agree. That guy could have stayed out there, and I didn't think the Phillies were going to do anything with him. Okay, regardless, they score 2. Castellanos at second. Castellanos, important note here. He can't run out of sight in a day.
Yeah, he's
one of the slower
slow.
outfielders in Major League Baseball.
So slow.
Like, I think Jordan probably runs better than him. And
on one leg.
So the Phillies elect, I would not have done this, and I actually was thinking this as soon as I saw Bryson Stott, left-handed hitter at the plate. Again, it's a left-handed hitter who's had some postseason success. And with a runner at second, you get 3 chances to drive him in against Trinan, who was brought in to face the righties. I didn't like the bunt call. I did not like the bunt call before it happened, so it's not one of these hindsight deals. Anyway, so he shows on the first pitch. And I think at the major league level, you always wonder if you're the defense, are they going to bunt here? Like, nobody bunts anymore. Are they going to bunt here in this spot? It's certainly the situation of the game called for it, but you just don't know. So Stott shows. And they had a normal bunt defense on.
So did the situation call for it? Because like, if you're bunting, you're essentially telling the Dodgers you are playing for the tie.
Yeah, they were trying to just get it. Yeah, they were trying to get it to the next.
No, with nobody out.
Nobody out.
Yeah, you're playing for the tie with nobody out.
Yeah, I didn't. Again, I wouldn't have done it. But it's in the back of your mind as in the opposing dugout. Like, are they going to bunt here? That's a lot of times you'll see them do what, Cade? You're a pitcher. What will you do if you think the hitter might be bunting with a runner at second? There's a way that you can see if he's going to bunt.
Oh, you can just throw it right at him.
No, you don't throw it right at him.
We are not putting the winning run on base.
My bad.
Here,
yeah,
dude.
it's not a squeeze.
And there's a runner at second. Inside move. You're going inside move to see if the hitter will start moving his hands up the bat, start to show. They chose to throw a pitch, and Bryson Stott shows bunt and pulls back. Okay, now the decision has been made. If you're in the Dodger dugout, you're going, okay, they're bunting. And the crazy part is that they haven't practiced this. And when you go back and you look at it, you can tell the timing on this is way off. It's crazy that they ran this. It's crazy that they executed it, but you're dealing with professional baseball players that have probably run 1,000 wheel plays, if not more, in their life in practice. But this is the MLB playoffs. This is on the road at Citizens Bank, one of the rowdiest places in Major League Baseball.
If you win this game, you're going home up 2-0. If you lose this game, you're tied 1-1, and the momentum has shifted in a major direction after you blew a 4-run lead in the late inning.
So what the wheel play is, for those of you that are unfamiliar, you're crashing your corners. Okay, so the first baseman and third baseman are crashing early, like before the pitch is thrown. You're gambling that this is a bunt. We're crashing the corners. Your middle infielders are vacating their spots and going to cover the bases on the corners. So the goal on a wheel play is to get the lead runner out. Most of the time, that risk reward with a bunt is too great for you to run this because it opens so many other gaps and so many other things up defensively. But I compared it to a question that is on every study guide that you have in a course for like 4 years in a row. Let's say you're an econ major. This is a question that's on every study guide from the time you show up till your final exam as a senior. And it's never on the test, except the one time that it is, it's 95% of your GPA.
It's like the time I went to trivia over at O'Bannon's, and they do the musical one where you have to fill in the blanks with the lyrics and the artist and the song title. The one time I was there, one of the songs was Randy Newman's "I Love L.A." And of course, that's the song the Dodgers play after wins. So of course, I know every word to that song. Like, I guarantee very, very few other people or teams in that joint got it right. But because I'm such an idiot, the one time it actually helps me out, we did not win.
So the percentage of you using this play is extremely low. But when the time comes for you to run it, you better get it right. And the Dodgers, they executed it okay. I loved the boldness just to call it, but
Did you pay attention to any of the post game stuff last night?
Well, I just saw Dave Roberts said
so it was discussed between Muncy and Betts and Freeman during the pitching change, and it was called by the players, not the coaches.
Yeah, so
amazing.
They just decided they were going to run the wheel, and there's so much wrong with this from a Philadelphia perspective. The Phillies had so many things they could have done other than what happened. It's hard. You give the Dodgers an A here, no question. The Phillies, you give the opposite of an A. Okay, so Cade, let's go ahead and pop this up. And do you have the capability of stopping this at any point? Can you pause it, Cade?
Yeah, I can pause it, yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the first time that you can see. So if you're just listening to us, you're going to miss this visual. Okay, the first time that you can see the runner once the ball's bunted. So as soon as they change cameras, right there. Okay, look at how much ground Mookie Betts has between he and Nick Castellanos. Mookie Betts, a guy that's faster than Castellanos, an incredible athlete. He's played four positions at an all-star level in his career, second short and 2 spots in the outfield, correct?
Yeah.
And Castellanos, good player, been around a while, but not an athlete, okay? Right now, in the wheel, okay, Castellanos can see all of this. He can see Betts ahead of him. If he has any foresight or any peripheral vision, he would have seen Tommy Edman. Like, Tommy Edman's not even in the screen, is he? I can't see that.
He's going to first base.
He's probably already at first base, yeah.
So Tommy Edman's at first base. If you look up right now and you're Nick Castellanos, you know what you can do?
Go back to second.
Just stop. Just stop and go back to second. There's nobody there. It's the only base that's not covered on a wheel play is second. You don't have to keep running. Okay? Now, also, can you go back to the very top of the clip, okay? So show the hitter. Right now, the infielders are moving right now. Can Bryson Stott see the corners? Probably not. He may be able to feel Max Muncy at third base running at him and maybe see him out of his peripheral, but he can definitely see the middle infielders. Definitely,
he
you
knows
can see.
they're vacating, so he knows something's up. He knows the play is on.
And he should have, first of all, the wherewithal as a ball player, but also the freedom from his manager that if you see this, we slash behind it. So what a slash is he's going to show this bunt, and as the pitcher's foot hits, he's pulling the bat back, and it's got to be a strike. Like, you can't swing at a ball here. But if you hit the ball on the ground, now go to the shot, Cade, where you can see the entire infield. Boom. Look at all the green grass you have to hit to. If you hit a ground ball anywhere, it's going to score Castellanos, who again can't run. It's going to score him standing up.
Yeah.
But you can't just give up this out at second base if you're the Phillies. The Dodgers, and even still, look at that play at third base. So with as poorly as of a jump that Castellanos got and as bad as he runs, this is not an easy play still. Betts is on the run. He's got to find the tag area in front of the base. He's got to flip his hips, catch, and then get a tag down. And he's there in plenty of time, and it's still a tough play.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so high of a risk on this wheel play to get the lead out. Like, you have a lot of things go your way. When the offense doesn't execute one iota, your percentages of executing go way up if you're the defense.
Also, if you're the Phillies and you know that you're gonna run this play, like, why are you not pinch running for Castellanos? It's the ninth inning.
That's
for sure.
That's baffling. That's baffling.
Yeah, that's another thing is unless you're okay, if Castellanos is the tying run, we're going to go to extras and I want his bat in the lineup. That was my only, Rob Thompson, like, I think that's the only saving grace he's got was
he doesn't have any saving grace here. He doesn't. No, because he made other missteps.
You have to be able to answer the question in the post-game presser though. Like, hey, why didn't you run for him? Well, if we get that run home and we do go to extras, I want his bat in the lineup to potentially win us the game in extra innings. But to me, you're saying that's a little bit convoluted, because if you're trying to tie the game and go to extras, why not give yourself the best chance to tie the game and go to extras?
Yeah,
which is with a pinch runner.
You have to get the game to extra innings if he's going to hit again.
So there was a lot wrong there. It was so awesome for guys like me, and our coaches chat just blew up.
Just a bunch of dorks, baseball nerds.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Everybody's like, he's got a slash there, and then he shouldn't even be running. And there was every coach in our group chat was just breaking down kind of their angle of it. But just so we go back to that, Cade, pause it when you see the infield. Like, the Dodgers did not even run this close to correctly, and they got that kind of space between Betts and Castellanos. That's crazy. Another thing that Castellanos could have done is when Betts starts running, just run with him.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Because, if you're Castellanos, Betts is faster than you, so you're hosed anyways. But if you start running as soon as you see him run, that's an incredibly hard play to make for him, for Betts, because he has to get the tag down as soon as he catches it, essentially.
Well, you know who you're looking at, though?
It becomes a race, Cade. Like, what happens if Bryson Stott doesn't put the ball in play? Then it's essentially a stolen base attempt, and all you have to do is beat the play to third. And it's Castellanos. And you give yourself a much better chance if you're stride for stride with Mookie.
And it's an incredibly tough throw for Will Smith behind the plate.
Who's doing it all with one hand.
Because he's throwing to an empty base, so a moving target to the base.
Yep.
And then Betts has got to do the same thing, but
the timing's got to be perfect
from a further throw. So that's another thing Stott could have done, is just pull back and take his chances on the steal of third. I mean, there were so many things that the Phillies could have done.
Even smart to make that
Could you imagine
throw?
if they had made the first out at third base on a stolen base attempt with Nick Castellanos? That would have been crazy.
It would have been a higher percentage play than what actually happened.
But this one's at least more justifiable for a Rob Thompson. It's pretty tough. That's the thing is, you mentioned what had gone wrong. Like, the Dodgers shouldn't have been in this situation. They should have never been in this situation. Blake Treinen should have never, ever been allowed to pitch the ninth inning.
He was throwing so many fastballs.
Dave Roberts mismanaged this game. The Dodgers won that game in spite of their manager. And I'm not just talking about the decision to bring Treinen in. There are a couple other opportunities where I think lack of aggression Dave got caught sitting on his hands, and it worked out for him. He got lucky. In no form or fashion should Blake Snell, who's at 100 pitches, be allowed to face Alec Bohm, a right-hander, in the sixth inning with the man on base in a tie game. He should have been out of the game. He should not have been in the game. They should have had Treinen in at that position. Seriously. Right on right, situational spot. Treinen had been better than the entire season, at least in his last couple of starts in the postseason against the Reds. He had been better. So I understand going to him for one out against a right-hander. And if it doesn't work out, you've got another right-hander behind him. Seriously, I didn't like Snell. It worked out. Dave didn't get burned because Snell has been good.
All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was 4-1 to start the ninth inning, right?
Yes, it was 4-1, but I'm going all the way back to the sixth.
Yes, I was just gonna say, why not just Rocky's been so good. Let him just close it.
Let me get there. Can I get there?
Yeah, please do.
Because then in the eighth inning, I would not have let Sheehan face Schwarber or Harper.
It was tough
up
because
4-1. I wouldn't have let it happen. I would have gone to the lefty.
Nobody's on base.
Vesia. Yeah, no, you did have a runner on base. It was Turner.
Yeah, he's singled. Right?
Turner's on base after the double, Kepler, and then the RBI single. Like, with one out, go get him. Go get the left-hander. Use the pieces in the situation they're supposed to be in. And then the situation, like what you're saying, Cade, Roki Sasaki has established himself as your best arm. He has never come into a situation where a man has been on base ever in his professional career. Let him start the ninth. He had been nails in that spot not only 2 nights before, but when you face the Reds in the division series or the wild card series. That's when Roki Sasaki should have been in the game. Stop with Blake Treinen has gotten us some really big outs in the postseason before. Blake doesn't need to be in the situation. I don't need to see it anymore, Doc. Hopefully you've learned your lesson. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. If the Dodgers are going to win the World Series, they are going to have to do it with non-traditional relievers out of the bullpen. Period. Whether it's Sasaki, whether it's Glasnow, whether it's Kershaw, whether it's Wroblewski if you bring him back on the roster in the championship series should you get there. You are not going to get high leverage outs from your traditional high leverage arms in Vesia, Treinen, or Scott. It's not going to happen. It just isn't. Dave Roberts' only saving grace is he got out mismanaged by Rob Thompson.
I thought he did a good job with the hitters, moving the pieces around.
Yeah.
Bringing Will Smith in when he did, moving Muncy to third.
That's another thing. Why is Will Smith, he's gotten 2 hits in each of the games in the late innings. They've both proven to be big. Why is he not starting? An 80% or a 60% Will Smith is significantly better than a 110% Ben Rortvedt. And Rortvedt's eaten some innings. He's done enough to get by, but if you're going to win the World Series, if you're going to win the if you're going to win the pennant, if you're going to win this series, you're going to have to do it with the best catcher in the National League. Yeah, he's going to have to be in there.
The longer they play, I'm sure the closer to 100% he'll get. But incredible teach tape. Excuse me, got a little tongue tied there. Incredible teach tape last night in the late innings between the Dodgers and the Phillies, and then the late game kicks off. And let me tell you something: if you're a fan of the underdog, you should be pulling for these Milwaukee Brewers because they're going 1 through 9, and 8 of the 9 spots in the lineup. If you're just a casual baseball fan, you're going to go, "Who's this guy?"
So you put this on the rundown and you called them an underdog. They're not an underdog anymore.
From payroll, from name recognition and brand recognition, they are a significant underdog.
So you think that casual baseball fans don't know who Jackson Chourio is?
Definitely.
Wait, the guy who won the National League Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Or he was a Rookie of the Year finalist. Sorry.
I think the market...
casual NBA fans who didn't know who Malcolm Brogdon was after he won the Rookie of the Year.
Who's that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't watch the NBA. I'm not even a casual NBA fan. I'm a significant NBA hater.
But even if you want to lean toward the side of Chourio being a known commodity nationally, which I would argue...
Contreras is an all-star?
But nobody knows that.
Okay, so take those two guys off the roster.
Yelich is the name.
What about Jack Mizorowski? Quintana?
People know Mizorowski now.
Mizorowski? Like these are dudes that are all-stars and Cy Young candidates.
Mizorowski's way more known after last night.
That dude was fired up last night.
Kind of a cornball move, but I understand it's your first time.
I mean, it was awesome. I thought it was awesome.
I don't care. Like I'm not gonna ever say anything about a player emoting or showing emotion in the postseason unless his name's Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis Jr. because those guys are losers. They can emote in Cancun for all I care.
It was just kind of a corny emotion, but I understand why the emotion came out. That being said, they showed his spray chart after his outing was done.
Like he threw just enough strikes to get by. Anyways, back to the point. Like they've got the same amount of star power on this Cubs team.
Oh no,
they do.
Dansby Swanson, Shota Imanaga.
Okay, the casual fans are not going to know who Shota are. They're not going to know who Suzuki is. They're going to know who Tucker are. Crow Armstrong and Swanson. That's it. We're going 3 for 3. Like it's close. Like this is a team that finished with the best record in baseball. I don't think you can call them underdogs anymore. I think what you should be calling them is the favorite to win the World Championship. They're that good. They can win in any sort of fashion.
Maybe underdog's not right, but they lack star power.
Yeah, I would say yes. When you compare them to the Phillies and the Dodgers, who are still left on the National League side, and you compare them to, obviously, the Yankees and even the Blue Jays with those guys, or a Skubal and a Torkelson, because I don't think the Tigers have that much star power.
The Tigers
and
the
Mariners definitely have the most star power outside of New York in the American League.
Yeah.
Like, yes, when you compare them as far as known commodities, sure, but they're not, I don't think they're underdogs by any stretch. They can win any type of game imaginable. They have a fantastic starting rotation, and they're doing it without Woodruff.
I mean,
and Andrew Vaughn might be the best deadline pickup in baseball. A guy who I saw play against Texas A&M way back in the day. By the way,
again, like so, here's some of the names in the Cubs order that I think a lot of people do know. And you mentioned Swanson, Crow Armstrong,
Ian Happ's another one I would throw in there.
Seiya Suzuki, and Shota Imanaga are going to have the Japanese they're internationally, but I understand. Carson Kelly, he's had a really good year.
Casuals won't know who that is.
But I'm sitting here going, okay, even if you want to say Jackson Chourio in year 2 is a household name. Bryce Terang, William Contreras, Andrew Vaughn, Sal Frelick, Caleb Durbin, Blake Perkins, and Joey Ortiz.
Joey Ortiz, I didn't know who he was.
People may know Frelick, but that's just because wasn't he he was kind of some sort of a hot commodity last season as well, right?
I know who Bryce Terang is because he got traded to the Dodgers in my road to the show. So I'm teammates with him.
Yeah, I very much enjoy watching the Milwaukee Brewers play.
They're fantastic.
They are fun.
And you want to call them underdogs, fine. Like they're a kind of island of misfit toys that are pulling all together. The storyline I don't think people are talking enough about is how Craig Counsell ditched them to go manage the Cubs, and is Craig Counsell, Brewer legend, Brewer Hall of Famer, is now about to get bounced by the Brewers because he ran to the Cubbies.
And a guy in the other dugout that used to coach in college baseball.
Wow.
So a lot of people, I had some people text me, or actually some people I bumped into in person around Kyle Field the week after we talked about Tony Vitello going to potentially the Braves or the Giants. And they're like, hey, Pat Murphy did this. Like, this is not unheard of for a guy to go coach in the major leagues from college. Now, I don't think Pat Murphy went directly from one to the other like Vitello would do. But I think the only thing that you worry about with Tony is just his nature and from in 162 games, right? Like, it's hard to carry that emotion pitch to pitch for that many games. I don't think you can do that with professionals.
What's the latest on that rumor?
I haven't even looked, but
it seems like a slam dunk, like a no-brainer to me that Bruce Bochy's going back there.
Ooh, really?
Why not? Why would the Rangers and Bochy mutually part ways on the same day the Giants fired?
Maybe, yeah, but didn't Buster Posey say no?
I didn't see that. If that is the case, then I'm uneducated and ignorant.
I recall a certain AD mutually parting ways with his baseball coach a couple years ago and saying that, no, we're not going to hire this guy. And then it happened. So, you never know.
I'd be interested to see. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like Tony Vitello. Runs a great program. I would be interested to see how he would do in the major leagues.
So you are right. Buster Posey did shut down the Bruce Bochy rumors.
Plus, I thought Bochy he looks like. I mean,
he looks old.
Yeah, he's aging.
He needs to go enjoy retirement. He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, so let's go back to the AL. This final series. I'm telling you what. You talk about fun to watch play. The Toronto Blue Jays are getting after the New York Yankees in every way imaginable.
I can't even call it fun to watch because the games are not even competitive.
Was it 10-1 and 13-7?
Blasting them,
and not like they're pulling away late. Like, this is happening in the first 4 or 5 innings and the game's over.
Like, I'm not even watching the end of games. I'm like, oh, the Yankees are dead. What's on elsewhere?
And they're playing the game. They've hit some huge homers, and the human bathtub Alejandro Kirk has been incredible. But
here's a question for you.
The difference in styles in the way the Yankees play compared to the Blue Jays are professional baseball players playing the game like college guys. Would you agree? They run the bases like madmen.
They're fun. And as a Dodger fan, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I love George Springer. Like, I find him so difficult to root against, and I always find myself rooting for him. He plays the game hard. He plays the game the right way. He does it with a smile on his face. I love the story about him overcoming a stutter as a kid and now giving back to children with speech impediments. I think that's awesome. He's super likable on and off the field. And he really kind of makes that entire machine go. And I know they've got Kirk. They've got Vladdy Jr. They've got Bo Bichette. Like, they've got these true star power names. And so it's easy to gloss over Springer and what he does to that lineup. But like, he seems like the focal point to me every single time one of his teams gets to the postseason.
Dalton Varsho is a real player.
Oh, trust me, I know. He's a Dodger killer when he was with the Diamondbacks. He's fantastic. He's a super utility guy. You could put him anywhere on the diamond, including catcher, and he might make your team better.
Yeah, so these the Mariners and Tigers have my full attention. But the other ones, I feel like the way that they're, Brewers, Dodgers, and Blue Jays are comfortable to move on to the next round. I'll be really surprised if any of those series go 5.
Yeah, I agree. I think what's exciting about that Blue Jays series is I think that we haven't seen him in the playoffs yet, but that dude, that dude's built for the playoffs. Like, he looks like an absolute monster.
Dude,
at the plate right now. He's basically unconscious. And Springer, love that guy. Awesome. Great vet. And he provides like everything that team needs from like a leadership perspective because it's a pretty young squad in terms of like their star power. So I think they're super fun to watch.
Well,
I'm going to enjoy whoever they that CS, the ALCS is going to be awesome. Whoever they play, if they let's knock on wood because I don't want the Yankees to win, but if they can finish the Yankees off, that CS is going to be awesome.
The grand slam by Vladdy Jr. and his reaction, first of all, the ball like it left the bat at 180 miles an hour. And he was doing the Jack Parkman shimmy between pitches. Did you see that?
No.
He was like shimmying. He was like shimmying after he would take.
Who was this?
Vladdy Jr. on the grand slam.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
And then
sorry, I made a typo on my thread about the search committee, and geez, TexAgs let me have it. Good Lord. I said fine instead of find next next A&M president. So where the guy didn't even have the job and he's already owing us money. That's my bad, you guys.
All right. Switching gears, let's go to the gridiron. We have our...
Hey, before we do switch gears, Aaron Boone, if the Yankees don't win the World Series, regardless of when they lose, whether it be tomorrow or Game 7 of the World Series, he's fired, right? Like they got to get him out of there. He can't save his job unless he wins it all.
I would tend to agree with that. You know, the crazy thing about Aaron Boone is that the last couple of years he's done more and more of these like podcasts during the season. He's like a weekly guest with John Boy. And I don't know if you follow John Boy at all. For those of you unaware about John Boy, he's the guy that became famous for reading the lips of umpires and coaches during managerial ejections or during any kind of scuffles on the baseball field. And then that's kind of grown into a lot of other sports. He's the first guy that ever put subtitles to arguments in sports, mostly baseball. He's a massive New York Yankees fan, does New York Yankees live streams, and now has grown that little niche commodity that he was providing to the sports community into this giant sports conglomeration.
Yeah, they hired Chris Rose. And Chris Rose is awesome, by the way.
He has Aaron Boone on his podcast quite a bit. And then I don't understand like why Boone keeps going on there. This guy and his crew, every time the Yankees screw something up on their live stream, they just wear them out. It's like, man, that's got to be a tough, like, he doesn't care about like toting the line, I guess, or not even being overly critical of the manager. And Boone just keeps going on the show. So more power to John Boy. I mean, he's a giant. He's a behemoth now in the baseball landscape. It's been funny to watch some of these guys come up like that and just the staying power that they've gotten. I know that YouTubing is now a profession, but we've talked about YouTube golf. I don't like golf. I don't play golf. I don't watch golf. I'll watch Bob Does Sports. Those guys are hysterically funny.
Yeah, you were talking about that with Coach Chadwell the other day.
Like, watching those guys play best ball or head-to-head, skins game, whatever, it's an hour of guys, buddies just having fun, playing golf together, and I can't turn it off. It's hysterically funny. All right, we got to change gears. We got to go to football. The rest of the show will be football. I guess not all football. When we get to the last top 5 list today, we got top 5 nicest stadiums. Not most rowdy, not biggest, just nicest.
These are ones that we've been to, correct?
Yes. Okay. Places, nicest stadiums we've been to. We can kind of blow by this NFL because we're going to talk a lot of football. But and speaking of blow by, this was a blowout week in the NFL. The games, a lot of the games were non-competitive until last night. We got a banger.
Well, we got a banger on Sunday night too. Sunday night was good.
Refresh my memory.
Pats Bills.
Oh, Pats Bills. I went to sleep before the end of that.
Pats Bills was
Bucs
good.
Seahawks was a banger too.
Bucs Seahawks was great in the second half.
I like that we're getting bangers in the primetime windows.
What did we think about the Arizona Cardinals? That was the worst loss I've ever watched with my own eyes.
I think nothing about the Arizona Cardinals because
did you see what happened?
No.
So they're up 21-6. Amari DiMercado, who was from TCU, was on their national championship team as one of their running backs, national championship finalist. He breaks a long run, gonna score, drops the ball before the end zone.
Oh, yes, I did see this. What are we doing? What are we doing? How many more examples do we need? Seriously. What?
I don't know how you do that.
Just hold on to the ball and run through the back of the end zone. There's nothing cool about dropping it. It's not a great celebration. What are we doing?
I mean,
it's
you want to make sure
Deshaun Jackson should have been the poster boy for this, and it should have never happened ever again at any level of football.
There was a famous one. Was it Oregon, Utah, in Salt Lake City one year? Utah broke off this huge run to put them ahead, and the camera was just showing their celebrations. And
yes, I remember this.
All of a sudden, they cut back to the
field,
and Oregon's running the ball the other way for like a 100-yard touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't understand. It should take one person one time in the history of football to do that, and then everybody for the remainder of history understands just run the ball through the line. If you want to be real safe, just run it to the official and hand it to him.
Exactly, and then start celebrating.
Do whatever you want to celebration-wise.
If you want to start celebrating, just run through the back of the end zone. Go to the big line. It's like 2 yards thick, and go celebrate on that white line.
It's crazy. And then
so dumb.
The meltdown after that by the Cardinals was just insane. Credit to Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. The AFC South, all of a sudden, after I ran my big fat mouth before the season about the Texans had a stranglehold on that division, now the Jags wagon, the Colts wagon, and
Duval.
I do not think the Tennessee Titans are good, but now they're only a game behind the Texans, and the Texans, they're chasing 2 games already 5 weeks into the season.
Credit to the Texans for even getting back to within a game of 500 after starting 0-3, right? And they looked extremely good the last 2 weeks. Credit them for getting back in the race. But yes, what a race it has become, because is it too early to talk about Daniel Jones as an MVP candidate? And my goodness, the way that Jags game ended yesterday, with Trevor Lawrence falling down and tripping over somebody's, or getting stepped on and then tripping over his own feet and somehow still stumbling into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown.
He looked
amazing.
He looked at the same time like a 38-year-old quarterback and an 18-year-old quarterback. He looked like a baby
deer learning to walk on that last.
He looked feeble trying to get up, and then he makes an incredible play and wins the game, which begs the question, is the Chiefs dynasty done?
I really hope
I'm not ready to call him dead, because as soon as I call him dead, they're going to blast their Sunday night opponent this week, who just so happens to be my Detroit Lions. So I'm not calling him dead. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going to call him dead.
They're very different than they were.
But if they are going to take a step back, or they're going to continue to struggle, please, God, let it continue for another 8 days. Please. At the very least, let it continue for another 8 days. And here's what I'll say about Sunday Night Football, and I know she's listening right now. I don't have any problem with Taylor Swift being at football games. I have no problem with her being shown on TV. I think it's awesome. Grow the game in whatever fashion you see fit. But good Lord, Jen, if you talk about Taylor Swift and call her mother or Travis Kelce father at any point while the Lions
just
are
don't
down,
watch the game with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you to go to the other room. Don't do it.
Ooh, big
don't
tough
do
guy.
It. Don't do it.
Cade, I don't think that would happen. Do you?
It does happen. She doesn't hang around when things get
go to the other
ugly.
room. Yeah,
no,
right.
I won't say it like that. I'll just be like, hey, please, I can't be around you right now.
It's
happened. It's happened.
Psycho.
She'll text me. She knows. She knows.
My mom doesn't watch Aggie football games with my dad because he yells at the TV. So
we were watching a regular season Dodger game in September. The division's like 1 game or whatever. The Dodgers are up 3-0 in the 9th inning, and it starts happening again. Tanner Scott comes in, and we're sitting on the couch, and I looked at her. I said, "Jenna, it's happening again." And that's like she knew that was the cue. She got up and went and watched TV in the bedroom.
I will say this about the Chiefs dynasty: a good indicator on if it's really over is if my Denver Broncos can beat the Chiefs both times this season, that would be a good indicator of the Chiefs dynasty being dead, because they have owned us ever since Peyton Manning left. But yeah, it was a huge win over the Eagles.
Big win for Bo Nix, right?
Link, baby.
Bro Nix, dude.
Your bestie, Bo Nix.
My bestie,
you know what's
Bo
funny
Nix, yeah.
is the Eagles have not looked great. They've won games.
No, dude, the door is wide open in the NFC. I'm not convinced the Lions aren't the best team in the NFC right now.
I agree. I think the AFC is deeper right now.
And that's the other thing is, if the Chiefs dynasty is done, then it opens the door for a host of other teams to potentially walk through that door opening.
And it's crazy because everybody thought the Ravens would be one of those teams before the year started.
They're so hurt.
They're so hurt, and
so tough for them, man.
Right now, I think. I mean, it's 5 games into the year, but I think they're like the 2nd or 3rd overall pick in the draft if the season ended today.
Where are we at on the Chargers?
Justin Herbert's a dog, and
why? Because he's dating Madison Beer?
No, he's just a dog. He's just a dog.
Absolutely.
That dude can sling it.
Dog.
I like
the
the
field.
Chargers.
Yeah, I do like
I do think
Coach Harbaugh.
The Colts
never done anything wrong in his entire life.
The Colts have played well enough to you got to throw them in the discussion for best team in the division. The
Daniel
Bills
Jones is an
the
MVP
Bills
candidate.
I mean,
stupid.
The Patriots go on the road and win in Buffalo. Drake May's a baller.
Shout out to my buddy Landon. He's a scout for the Pats now, so I kind of root for them. Like, it was cool to see them win a big game at Highmark Stadium against a really, really good Bills team. It's impressive that they've come out of the post-Brady doldrums so quickly.
Yeah, they drafted well. They got a head coach. Took him a while to find him, but Vrabel's a dog, kid.
Vrabel is a dog. That's true. The Titans were so good when he was their head coach, and then they got rid of him for I can't even remember why, but the Titans have been terrible since then. And now Vrabel has another head coaching job, and it's in New England. He was under Belichick in New England as the DC, right? Yeah, he played there. Like, this is his spot. I think it's a perfect storm for the Patriots. It does kind of suck that they're going to be good again so soon after Brady, but good franchises figure out a way to get good.
Yeah, and they're good. I don't think they're the best team. Like, they got to go. No. They did a great job in the draft the last couple of years. Will Campbell looks like a real player already. But I still think that they've got a lot of missing pieces for them to have the staying power that they're looking for.
Need a couple more weapons.
But again, the AFC wide open. Wide open. It could be anybody right now.
Frankly, I was very impressed with the Jags last night. Honestly, that team looks pretty good. Be respectful.
Yeah, the Jags, I mean, I gave them no shot.
First-year coach.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence rejuvenated.
Travis Hunter, dog.
Yeah. That catch you made was crazy.
Yep. I didn't give them any chance going into the night. All right, let's go to the college gridiron. We do top 5 winners and losers each week on this show. I think we're going to have a couple of consistent team/people on these lists. But I do think there was some variability, especially when I got toward the back of my list. So I'm going to start. We always start with winners on this show. I think I'm going to surprise some people here. I went with the Virginia Cavaliers.
Oh, that is a surprise.
They go on the road to Louisville after a huge emotional win against Florida State, and I watched part of that game. I kept feeling like Louisville was on the verge of breaking through and like grabbing a hold of the game, and Virginia just never let them. Virginia wins 30-27, and all of a sudden
in overtime, right?
You start looking at Virginia in the ACC. Like, where do they fit here?
So, did you have them at 1, Brauny, or at 5? Okay,
but remember, we're just kind of going. Did anybody else have Virginia on my list?
I don't have Virginia on my list.
Virginia was on my list.
You asked the question, where does Virginia fit? I think it's still Miami and everybody else. I don't care. It's a one-bid league. But good for them for having a good year.
Okay, can I read you Virginia's schedule?
Yes.
Please do.
Washington State.
Bad.
North Carolina.
Bad.
Cal.
Bad.
Wake.
Bad.
Duke.
Okay.
Virginia Tech.
Oh, bad.
They're going to go 11-1 or 10-2.
Who else is on there? That's who
they've lost.
That's who they have left.
Yeah, they lost to NC State. That's a horrific loss.
NC State's 4-2 now, by the way. But I mean, yeah, still not a great loss.
At what point? Like, there's the committee would have to dive into style of play and
the committee's going to want them to lose another game.
Like, yeah, they could force their hand, kind of like Florida State did a couple years ago.
They are going to. The ACC, I think the ACC, well, I don't know. The ACC might be angling for 2 teams, and Virginia might be the second one.
ACC is a one-bid league.
Well, so for Brauny, for that reason, I actually had Virginia as my number 1 winner of the week.
Okay.
Because I think that knowing what their schedule is the rest of the way, if they go 11-1 and they, find themselves playing a undefeated Miami in the ACC championship and they win that game, I feel like the committee would be hard pressed to leave them to leave Miami out. So that, I mean, it becomes a 2-bid league if they can run the table. If they can run the table, they get a bid.
They might get in. Just go into the ACC championship.
I think the only way they get in is if like Miami throws the ACC championship game.
All right, give us a team, a winner.
I have an honorable mention, Matthew Dawson, simply because I called him a fraud during the Baylor game, and then Sawyer Robertson ended up winning, and I wanted to show him a little love because he's down bad, little man.
I don't know if it
down bad because of the Cubbies.
We'll give it to him, but I think it was more Avery Johnson losing than
I think he's still a little bit of a fraud. 5, I have Navy beating Air Force. Right? I mean, they're still unbeaten, still a path to them being the group of 5 appearance or bid.
Them, North Texas, and Memphis.
There's a lot of teams still above them. South Florida still kicking. So congratulations to them. And also, it's always cool to see service academies go up against each other. That's a first step towards Navy potentially winning the Commander-in-Chief trophy. And I always got to give a shout out to my guy, Mark Emmons, one of my friends' dads served in the Navy, always texts me when Navy football is playing. He's like, "Are you watching Navy?" And usually I'm not, but I was this week.
My next winner of the week, the Florida Gators. And I want to say right now at 5:20 on Tuesday, I got a lot of trepidation about Saturday night in Kyle Field.
Currently, I
don't ask me why. I kind of wish Texas had gone in there and walked them.
You'd wish that you were kind of hoping they had an interim coming into today.
Yeah,
or this week.
I don't know, man. Billy Napier did this last year. Remember, he was fired. Then he beats LSU and he beats Ole Miss, and all of a sudden he's not fired anymore.
Yeah. I do have Florida on my list too. I have them at 3 though, and it's a talented roster. It's not one you can take lightly. It's still a coach that's playing for his life. He's desperate.
DJ
Lagway is extremely
on
talented.
One leg.
Yeah,
he looked really good last week.
It's a team that could pose problems, and you knew
the line's going the wrong direction. If you're an Aggie,
you knew they were going to get someone. Now it's Texas A&M's job to make sure that you're not the next one that they get, because I still think they're talented enough to pick off somebody else.
That's the rest of A&M's schedule. Is Arkansas is going to get somebody. South Carolina's going to get somebody. You just hope it ain't you. I wouldn't throw LSU, Texas, or Missouri in that mix because I think they're going to get a lot of people. Although Texas, that's a whole different story. We'll talk about them in a minute.
Interesting game this week between Bama and Mizzou.
Cade, you got a winner?
Well, so I had Miami and A&M tied at my 5 just for like similar reasons. Just, win an important game at home, solidify yourself at the top of college football, in the top 5 of college football. And then at 4, I had UCLA, just because I think that's cool for them. They finally looked like a real football team. They scored 42 points, and please remind me what the interim head coach's name is. His last name.
It's not Jerry Neuheisel, although Jerry Neuheisel
getting a lot of run.
A lot of run. It's not the UCLA.
Oh, okay,
interim.
But was he the OC?
Yeah, he's the
okay.
OC.
Yes. So I thought that was cool for him. Like, he got the offense working. I think it's and also hilarious.
Tim Skipper is the current head coach.
Okay, and then also hilarious that Nico outplayed Drew Aller. So classic.
Well, let's not talk about the flip side. I have UCLA on my list. You have UCLA on your list?
I do not have UCLA on my list.
That's crazy that you don't have them on your list.
I know they're a huge winner because they upset. It's a massive upset, but to me, that's more about the loser than the winner.
Okay. Who else is on your list?
I have Texas Tech on my list.
Texas Tech's on my list.
I have them at 4, and again, not because of anything they did this week against UH. Iowa State, man, completely blew their chance. Texas Tech is without a doubt the class of the Big 12. It's really not even close right now. Texas Tech's last test, I think, is going to be that game against Arizona State.
Yeah.
That is a playoff team.
The Red Raiders are going to go to the playoff.
Red Raiders are a playoff team.
Depending on how things shake out, they could be a first-round bye.
Yeah, they could be 13-0.
We've been talking about who's the one bid league. Big 12 might be the one bid league.
Well, I think
ACC might get 2.
Dude,
Big 12 might get 1.
There's 2 one bid leagues. It's the ACC and the Big 12.
Right now, I think so.
You have to factor in a group of 5, and then you're gonna be hard pressed to make an argument that a second group of 5 or a second Big 12 team or a second ACC team is going to be better than a 3-loss SEC team.
Well, I agree with that statement, but also if there's Big 10, what about the
who
Big
has
10
the playoff,
bids,
Cade? Who televises the playoff?
I'm aware of who televised. It's ESPN,
and who has who does ESPN's which conference?
SEC has the ESPN contract. I know how it works. I'm aware of how it works. I'm just saying, like,
you could have 5 SEC teams then.
There could only be 3 Big Ten teams. So
I think you're going to go 5 and 4. They're going to have 9.
Well, who's the 4th?
What do you mean? Who's the 4th?
In the Big Ten.
The Big Ten?
Yeah.
So I'll give me Oregon, give me Ohio State, give me Indiana, and give me Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan. If Michigan is anything other than 10-1 by the time they play Ohio State, Sharon Moore will be out of Ann Arbor before they play the Buckeyes.
They didn't exactly cover themselves in glory against Wisconsin.
The schedule stinks. Every single one of those teams is
bad.
rancid.
They've got to. Well, here's another thing we're not factoring in is Notre Dame.
Yep. Notre Dame's no one.
Yeah.
They are going 10-2 and they are blasting people.
Yep. That's
the only hurdle they've got left is USC.
Boise State gave them a little bit of trouble, but they figured it out.
All right, so we've talked about Virginia, we've talked about Florida, we've talked about UCLA. I had Texas Tech on my list as well. Kay, do you have another one?
Yeah, I'll go with the last one that we haven't said on my list, which is Alabama.
Alabama's on my list.
Massive win at home. They look kind of like they're back a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
That's exactly what
Simpson
I was
looks
thinking.
awesome.
Ty Simpson was fantastic.
Ty Simpson's a demon. Yeah.
All the people who thought Kalen DeBoer was on his way out, real quiet right now. That looks like a team that could make a lot of noise in the playoffs should they get there. But they're going to get tested time and time again over like the next 6 or 7
their
weeks.
schedule's good. There's still a lot of, I say a lot. I don't know about Missouri. Like they're a giant question mark to me.
Going to find out a lot this week.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot about that on Saturday. I don't know about Oklahoma.
Yeah. Good shout.
So we'll see what happens to the rest of Bama's schedule. The only other, I had Miami on my list at 1 and Tech at 2. I think Miami blowing out Florida State, the last real hurdle on their schedule. I mean, they're cruising to the number 1 overall seed, I think more cleanly than Ohio State is.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Miami looks awesome.
Miami's one at my list.
Ohio State is not even the best team in that conference.
I think Oregon is too.
I would agree with all of those statements. Miami... They're the point in the schedule where the resume is built. It's good enough. It's good enough. And now you are entering the territory where you're going to start padding Carson Beck's Heisman stats.
I think
don't know if he's going to have a Heisman moment, but he is. If they win all these games, Carson Beck is without a doubt a Heisman finalist.
You're going to get that mug in New York City. I think there's a clear line of delineation. I don't think there's anybody in the college football space that would argue that it's like Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, and then a line and everybody else. Like, I think those 3 teams so far have separated themselves.
I think A&M's in that realm. Like, A&M's 5-0. Look at the wins they have. Like, look at the style of win. Like, A&M should absolutely be mentioned in that tier as opposed to the next tier.
What about Ole Miss?
They should be mentioned in that same tier. Yeah. I think that group of 5, I would put all in the same group right now. I'd honestly, out of the teams that we've just said, I think that Ohio State may have like the least impressive resume out of all 5 of those teams.
Yeah, Oregon hasn't done much either, but the eyeball test with Oregon, to me, says they're really good.
I agree. I mean, but Ohio, well, and Oregon's best win is now a little bit tainted as well, but Ohio State's best win has just been tainted as well, so it's all very interesting this year.
Ohio State stinks, and Ryan Day can't beat Michigan.
Let's talk losers.
Ryan Day.
Number 5 for me. That's a little bit, I thought, stretching it. But come on, Mike. Houston, you're undefeated. You bailed yourself out in Corvallis the week before. And it's really not the University of Houston football team as much as it is their fan base. In a metropolis area that, how many people live in Greater Houston?
8-ish million, something like that.
No.
Is it like, are we talking like the Houston Metroplex?
7.8 million.
Well, he wasn't far off.
That's good. Good. Kate Pickham. Look at you. I should know better than to test the nerds.
There's clearly going to be some Texas Tech grads in Houston. That stadium was half and half. How does that happen?
It's bad.
And
it's bad.
I didn't expect them to be competitive, so I'm not putting the University of Houston football team on my top 5 losers list, but their fan base, come on, man. That can't happen.
They don't exist.
They can't.
They exist.
Student population is enormous. And again, that's 7.8 million people in the city, and over half of them are in the stadium are wearing red and black.
Number 5 on my list is North Carolina. And then it's also Clemson. Because like North Carolina is atrociously bad, but also Clemson, what are you doing? Double pass on the first play. You look like you're out for blood against an atrociously bad North Carolina team, and you only beat them by 38-10.
Bill Belichick's got to quit, huh?
Like Bill Belichick's.
North Carolina's on my list. They're at number 2 for me, and it's less the football team and more the clown show that is Bill Belichick in Chapel Hill. The directive that UNC football received via Bill Belichick, according to reports, this is alleged.
It's so stupid.
That they could not retweet anything that had to do with Drake May and the Patriots' big win on Sunday night. That is the nth level of petty that you've never seen before. That's
not petty. That's just loser mentality.
This guy who's won all these Super Bowl championships, what does he think, that his legacy is going to be tainted, or because he's crossways with the Crafts that they can't celebrate UNC's right now, currently their most highlightable alum in the NFL? He
might be the best quarterback in the history of North Carolina football.
Him and Max Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to highlight that
Max,
dude?
Unintended.
You're not going to highlight that dude? What are you doing? It'd be like if Myles Garrett did something insane, but because I'm making things up, but because Mike Elko once had a poor experience in the state of Ohio, he doesn't want to highlight anything about the Cleveland Browns. But if Myles Garrett goes out and has 10 sacks in one game, don't highlight our greatest player of all time. What are we doing?
They got to get him out of there.
It's trash.
It's tarnishing his legacy.
The girlfriend thing is
girlfriend's
weird too.
crazy.
She's a nutcase.
There's nothing normal about what's going on. I don't know why they thought this would work. I'd be interested to talk to some of their insiders and say, hey, when did you know that this whole thing was a complete sham?
Bums.
Like, was it spring football? Was it roster management? Was there one moment where you're going, hey, he's not taking this serious?
For all I know, he is taking it serious. But for all I know, he's completely lost his fastball to where he's now throwing batting practice.
And lost his fastball off the field.
Yeah, well,
5-year, $50 million.
Blue pills, man. Blue pills.
Let's see. It includes a significant buyout that drops from $10 million if he leaves before June 1st, 2025, to just $1 million thereafter. So they are on the hook for him. It's not too bad. 5 years, $10 million a year. Guaranteed money for the first. So they got to pay him at least $30 million. Guaranteed money for 3 years.
Stealing money. Just absolutely stealing money. Congratulations to Bill Belichick.
Good for him.
On the hot girlfriend and the free payday.
In hindsight, I would have put North Carolina at 5 on my list. Instead, I have a controversial pick, which is who was on your winners list, which is Florida. I think that...
What?
I don't know. I was just thinking about it earlier today, and I was like, man, Florida, that was a really big win for them. But do they really want, like, are they really just going to, like, do this again and give Billy Napier another year? I feel like most of that fan base wants to move on. I feel like they just, I feel like they want a new coach. I think that they should have, I think that they're the loser because they should have just committed to the tank and committed to the.
You're saying they should have tanked for Tua?
They're tanking for Lane Kiffin is what they're doing.
The kids play hard for him, man.
They do.
They do, and so I that's why it was hard. I just thought it was interesting because like it's a big win, but I also think it's a kind of a loss for their program, so to speak, just because it seems like so many people just want him out of there.
I'm hesitant on how much Dallas Wilson has completely changed their offense because he had one good week. But I do agree with what Coach Elko said. I think this is the most talented roster from top to bottom. I think they're going to have as many or more professional players on this roster at Florida today as Notre Dame has. And
I agree with that.
They're coming into your house. You need to win the game. I have trepidations about this weekend. I hope
can't take them lightly.
I hope I'm wrong. My number 5, my next on my losers list, Vanderbilt. Just Diego Pavia, dude. You bumped your gums all year. all year.
I didn't have Vandy on the list, but I definitely wanted to highlight Diego Pavia. In warm-ups, you're warming up and taking a knee and practicing throwing the ball in the air. Dude, stop.
But if he does that every week, I understand.
Does he do it every week?
I don't know what his pregame routine is, but if he does it every week, my point is that he got a little fired up at the Alabama fans giving it back to him on his way out of the stadium. You can't do that, dude. Like you have run your mouth incessantly for the better part of 6 months about you beating Alabama last year, your plans to win this year. You got Johnny on the sideline in the Diego Pavia jersey. Like, dude, you brought on this on yourself. Just wear it. You're a great player. You've brought Vanderbilt more national notoriety than they've ever had. Just take your lump and go on to next week. You can still do incredible things for a Vanderbilt program, and you already have. But I got to put them on my losers list just because of you run your mouth like that, and then you got thumped. You got to be able to wear it. Got to have some spine.
Agreed.
Next on my list, I had Iowa State. So
Yep.
I will hand up wrong about Iowa State. They are not good. They should have taken care of business, but they did not. And so they've basically put themselves squarely out of the running for the Big 12 title at this point, I think. I just
There's
think
more losses on their schedule.
probably true, and just nobody's touching Texas Tech with the schedule that they have left. So
I told you.
Iowa State also on my list, by the way.
Iowa State on my list at number 3.
It's
Rocco
over.
Becht. Rocco Becht. Come on, man. Like, that's another one. Got a ton of preseason buzz. Hadn't really done much. And I'm going to tell you this, Cade. You said they should have won the game. I'll go the opposite way. I think Cincinnati should have blown their doors off.
Well, so Cincinnati should have won by more. I was saying going into this weekend, you probably should have the mindset should have been, let's go handle business at Cincinnati. They aren't fantastic. But no, business was not handled. It was almost they made a little comeback, but it was in vain, and they never even, I don't think they ever got any closer than like 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, they could lose. They got BYU, Arizona State, TCU, and Kansas still on their schedule. Like, they could lose all 4 of those.
Agreed.
Any chance they had to win the Big 12, dead. Any chance they had to make the college football playoff, dead. Any chance Matt Campbell ever had, if that ship already hadn't sailed, any chance for Campbell to springboard to a bigger job, dead. Not going to happen. I think he's stuck in Ames. I think he could become like a Bill Snyder figure there. He could last for 20, 30 years, have a lot of success for Iowa State, maybe win a conference title every now and then, but for the most part, just live in obscurity and just be celebrated by your fans all the time. It's not going to happen for Iowa State. It's over. It's over.
It's Jover.
Jover.
Have you said 4 of your 5? Because I think we're all going to land on number 1 the same.
I had Texas on my list.
Texas is also on my list.
Duh. Why isn't Texas on everybody's list?
Because I don't think there's that much of a sin to go to the swamp and lose.
I think when you're a top 10 team and Billy Napier's coaching for his life and you've got the greatest quarterback to have ever walked the face of the earth on your team and calling the shots, absolutely you're a loser. Losers.
I also had Florida State on my list.
I didn't have Florida State on my list.
Because they can't make the playoff anymore. They've screwed themselves out of the playoff.
And Texas's problems are way deeper than Arch Manning. Like, it's everyone wants to fixate on him and blame that kid.
Well, the offensive line is a disaster.
The offensive line's terrible.
The running
backs are not good. There's the noticeable lack of speed at receiver. Like, they don't have anything around him to help him.
Their touted defense gave up 29.
When you go from number 1 to being unranked in 6 weeks, right? Everyone made fun of Texas A&M baseball in March, and rightfully so. Texas deserves to be on the loser list, 1,000%.
Who fell out of the top 25 quicker? A&M baseball?
A&M.
What were they? Was it 3 weeks?
It's like 3 or 4 weeks. Texas, it took them 6.
A lot greater sample size though in baseball. Like, you have a lot more chances to move down
for sure
because you play more games. All right, everybody, on the count of 3, your number 1 loser of the week. 3, 2, 1.
Penn State.
State Penn.
Horrible.
I mean, what? It's one of the all-time upsets.
Do you fire James Franklin at the end of this year?
They want to.
Drew Aller shouldn't be allowed to start another game. He shouldn't. He's trash. He's a football terrorist. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Football terrorist.
You owe me a Coke. Go give me a Coke, Cade.
Don't. We got 5 minutes left.
Not enough time left.
I mean, by this time you're listening to the show, you've heard everybody just wax lyrically about Penn State and the disaster that was in the Rose Bowl. But man alive, their version of TexAgs is probably making good money this week in terms of like, hey, advertise with us. Everybody that's a Penn State fan will see this. Your internet traffic and clicks are going to go through the roof.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't want middling. You want something tragic or something great.
They have tragic. As someone who helped publish during 5 and 7, it's the traffic for tragic is amazing.
What is that? I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe that I kept having to go back for UCLA, Penn State, and I kept having to flip back over and watch that.
Does he leave on his own volition? Like, who takes him now? Like, he's not going to win the big game. He's not going to take you to where you want to be.
Yeah, but that's not the game he loses.
I know. He loses the big game.
The 24
but he
and
lost the little game too.
24.5 point favorites to a team that lost by 25 to New Mexico in the same building.
Is James Franklin in his 2022 Jimbo era right now?
Well, I mean, Jimbo's got a national championship, something that James Franklin I don't think will ever touch.
Well, that's a good point.
So Jimbo can sleep a lot better on his pile of money.
Yeah. But from a losing, more from a not winning the big game and then starting to lose the games you shouldn't perspective.
Well, if this thing tanks from here on out, and who knows, man? Like, I don't think they're very good. I don't think they can win out. I don't think they're going 10-2, but they could still nip Ohio State at home.
Maybe.
So I don't know. There's more twists and turns coming in this college football season. I don't think there's any doubt about that. All right. Our final top 5 on this Top 5 Tuesday. We are up against the clock, so we're going to have to go quick. We're talking top 5 nicest stadiums that we have been to. Okay. This is not rowdy. This is not great atmosphere. This is just, when I walk in, this thing is really nice. It's clean. It's well laid out. The concessions are easy to get to. The concessions are good. All the things that go with just a nice stadium experience. We'll start with Cade. Your number 5.
I had Chase Field in Phoenix where the Diamondbacks play.
Nice. Never been. Looks sick.
Pretty sweet.
I've got a National League West stadium on my list too, but I'll save that for later. Notre Dame Stadium. I didn't go when the Aggies were there a couple weeks ago. My dad and I actually went to a Michigan-Notre Dame game a few years ago. The campus itself is beautiful, which meant the stadium had to match. The concourse is as wide. They do a great job of displaying the history. Like when you walk through the concourse, they've got the banners or it's posters of the programs from all the bowl games they've won. It's really cool. Concessions were well done. Photo opportunities. You know, when you're inside the bowl, it's just a bowl, but elsewhere it's fantastic. The renovation, whatever they did do it a few years ago, A+. Really, really nice college football stadium.
Number 5 for me is Globe Life Stadium in Arlington. Looks like a barn dominium from the outside. Inside, they did a good job. Very clean, very well laid out. I just don't like the aesthetic of the outside. Okay, number 4.
Number 4, I have T-Mobile Park in Seattle where the Mariners play.
Wow,
it's another place
nice.
I've never been that I want to go. I'd really like to go up to the Pacific Northwest one day. I like the rain. 4 on my list is a homer pick. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, and I did ask for permission to add arenas onto this list. They have this thing called like the Grand Concourse. It's super wide open. They've got statues of all-time greats on display, ginormous team shops, a lot of different food options in there as well. And then when you get inside it, the seats are all cushioned. They're all comfy. The sight lines are fantastic. If you're a hockey fan and you haven't been to Detroit, it is by far the best arena in the NHL. When the Ilitch family built that, they promised they were going to build the best arena in the world. They did it. That's really the only thing Red Wings fans have had to hang our hat on the last 10 years. But just another reason for me to be excited about hockey. We're taking my 90-year-old grandfather to a game there in January. Super pumped to be back in Detroit. All
right, we got about a minute and 15 seconds left, so we're going to fly through these. Number 4 for me is McLean Stadium. Baylor did a tremendous job building that for their scale. Very nice inside. Just perfect for Baylor. It really, and it's super nice with the sight lines over the Brazos River. Okay, number 3.
My number 3 is my homer pick. I picked Daikin, formerly Minute Maid, just because I always really enjoy my game day experience when I go in there. I know that it's a little bit tight, but I like it. So
not a great pick. 3 for me is Kyle Field. Like really, really nice. Love it. I think it's the best college football stadium in the world. Definitely the best college stadium I've been to, but I've got a couple ballparks ahead of it.
3 for me, Baum-Walker Stadium on the campus of the University of Arkansas, the best college baseball stadium in the country. When A&M finally redoes Bluebell, that should be the blueprint. That or Duty Noble, but I would lean toward Baum-Walker.
My number 2 is Coors in Denver. Coors is awesome. I'm sure this is the other NL West one. It's not the NL West one that's on your list, Richard.
I have been there, though. It's
Coors
a good ballpark.
Coors is fantastic.
It is a good ballpark. I haven't been there in like 15 years, though, so hard for me to remember. 2, I've got the new Yankee Stadium. Yes, it's very corporate. There's not much of an atmosphere in there, but the Steinbrenner family definitely wanted luxury, and they got it in every single aspect of that place. Really, really nice, just pristine ballpark.
Speaking of luxury, AT&T Stadium, number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Anything Jerry Jones puts his money into, going to be super nice. Most of the people listen to the show will have been in there, and regardless of its age, it's holding its kind of mystique and aura very, very well.
Cade, you got 2?
Number 1.
I put Kyle Field at 1.
Kyle Field's my number 1 as well.
Kyle Field's awesome.
Kyle Field is awesome. I felt bad for not putting it at 1, but you were asking for niceness, and the other places kind of just a little bit nicer. If you have not been to Petco Park in San Diego, sightlines are fantastic. Access to food's fantastic. They've got it's like a public park out in center field that you can go hang out at when it's not game days. Really awesome part of town it's into. As far as the ballparks I've been to, and I haven't been to Oracle, I haven't been to PNC, I obviously haven't been to Safeco, or whatever they're calling it up in Seattle right now. It is the nicest ballpark I've ever been to.
All right, that's the Tuesday edition of the B Team. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 4:15. To the desk to my right, TexAgs Live at 8 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow.